So let's all come to a nice seat in your chair. And if you're feeling a little mellower today, maybe you start out more in like a shavasana kind of feeling. Can let your chin drop towards your chest. You're feeling a little more energetic, want to start building a little heat inside your body, go ahead and sit forward in your chair just a little bit. And then just peek down at your feet as always, making sure that knees are landing over ankles. And again, if you're laying back in your chair, that's not so important, that alignment. We'll get there eventually. And you can take your hands on your thighs and then allow your eyelids to close here. Take a nice, smooth, deep inhale, fill up. Open your mouth, sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. Again, smooth, deep, full inhale. Sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. Again, one more time like that. Biggest inhale so far. Feel that expansion of your rib cage and then sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. And then just a few moments in here, or a few moments here in stillness, inhaling through your nose and then also exhaling through your nose. Keeping the inhale, the exhale even. One might feel a little easier than the other starting out. So just observing what's going on for you today. Bringing your attention to the sound of your breath. So letting it become the most important thing. Everything else fades into the background, especially any thoughts coming into your head. And just observe. Some days it's easy for that to happen. Some days it's a little harder. So just notice where you're at and be okay with that. Do a little check in with your shoulders here. Make sure that they're not getting involved in this process. So sometimes they like to creep up towards the ears. If that's you, just gently soften them down. You could just imagine that you're laying down on the floor here. So your shoulder blades are releasing down into the mat and then maybe squeezing in gently towards each other. So there is this lift, this openness across the heart and chest. And you can just visualize laying down so you have the support of the floor to help you find that. And then we're just going to be still here a couple more moments. Soak up this quiet. And just enjoy how it feels to be here in your body and your skin. Good. Gently blink your eyes open here and then release your arms by your side. If you're leaning back into your chair, go ahead and start to scoot forward. And we can all just refresh our posture a little bit here. So make sure that you're feeling nice and grounded, especially in those sit bones, the feet. You're gonna feel this openness across the heart and chest. Good. And then let's just go inhale, take the arms out wide, assuming that you have space. If you don't, you can reach them forward and up. And as we exhale, hands come down to heart center. And then they just release down again. Inhale, take up space. Beautiful. Exhale, palms towards heart center. You can really press the hands together. Let's do two more like that. Inhaling. You might even start to bring your gaze up as palms touch overhead. Exhale to heart center. Beautiful work. One more like this. Inhale, stretch out. And just gently warming up the shoulder girdle here. Palms to heart center. And then just because we can, let's just reach forward. And then hands to heart center. So it does feel a little different. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. And then a couple more times inhaling, so palms facing in towards each other, pressing overhead as you exhale, hands to heart center. And you're just moving at your pace if it's a little different than mine today. Reaching up. Good. So the next time you're reaching up, just stay there. Just imagine that somebody is gently pulling you up by your wrist, so helping you get a little longer through the sides of your waist, through your spine. Maybe bring your gaze up. Feel that lift of your sternum up towards the ceiling, so there's a little sense of cobra pose here. All right, so let's exhale. Just reach this right arm down by the side. Take a deep inhale, get a little longer through that left arm. And then as you exhale, little side stretch to the right. And it doesn't have to be super deep, especially starting out. Notice if your left sit bone is popping up off your chair. So anchor down there a little bit. That might mean that you come out of this side stretch a bit. You're feeling your shoulder blades squeeze in towards each other. They're releasing towards your sit bones. It's subtle. And then maybe you're just gazing up underneath that top arm. Good. Inhale. Come back to center. Reach up. As we exhale, we release that left arm down. Inhale again. Stretch up. And then exhale. Keep all of that length. So you're reaching from this right sit bone all the way through those right fingertips. Maybe a little spin of the left ribs up towards the ceiling, gazing up underneath that right arm. Good. As you inhale, stretch both arms up, reach, reach, reach. As you exhale, just release your arms by your side. So we're coming into our nice mountain pose. I'm going to lose a layer. Can't see it, but I've got the fireplace going here. Hot yoga indeed. Keep this close in case it gets chilly again, though. All right, so before we move a little more, let's go ahead, roll the shoulders back again. And then roll them forward. Welcome, Amy Hillman. Roll them back. And then let's just do that side stretching, that lateral stretching, but let's just flow it with the breath this time. So find your Tadasana, your mountain pose. So even standing, you feel really rooted, really grounded. We're going to use this grounded feeling in our sit bones, in our feet to help us get the extension through the sides of the waist. So as you inhale, side bend to the right. Take that full inhale to get there. Exhale, release down. Gorgeous. Inhale. We side bend to the left, right arm up and over. Good. Exhale, release. Inhale. And exhale. We're just going to continue like this. We're going to do several rounds here. And I want you to move at a pace that feels really good for you today. So it might be a little different than what I'm doing. Some days it feels good to move a little faster. Some days we want to slow things down and then just stretch the breath out. You're enjoying this sense of rhythm that you're finding right now. You're enjoying how it feels to connect movement with breath. For a lot of us, this has this really nice calming quality. It's like a body stim. Kind of has this self-soothing quality. For many of us, when we're moving like this with the breath, it actually helps to quiet the mind a little bit. Not always. Good. So the next time you're leaning off to the right, let's hang out there. So here we are again. Anchoring into that left sit bone. All right, so if you're feeling like you want to go for it a little bit here, maybe reach your right arm up. And you could just imagine that you're holding a beach ball. We're going to pretend that we're all on a beach somewhere sunny and warm. Oh, go away, winter. All right, so if you're holding your pretend beach ball here, let's inhale, come up to center. And if you weren't doing that, just come up to center and then exhale. We side bend to the left and we take a few breaths here. So this is our second time being here for the longer hold. But does that feel a little different already after a little movement? It's always pretty amazing. Once we kind of get up and going, the first few minutes might be a little challenging, but pretty quickly, our body remembers. We start to find a little space, a little ease. It might be subtle. Right, so keep anchoring into that right sit bone, even as you reach that left arm up. If you so choose, you're going to feel these side waist muscles, these obliques engage a little bit. Notice if you've started to hold your breath here because this is intense. Return to that inhale through your nose, that exhale through your nose. Gorgeous. So wherever you're at, inhale up to center. Really nice. As you exhale, release the arms down. And then let's just take our hands to our thighs and start to release the chin towards the chest. And we'll just be here for several rounds of breath. Usually takes a little bit of time for the back of the neck to open up. Again, do a little check-in with your shoulders. Make sure that they're not trying to help out. So they're softening down. All right, on your inhale, go ahead and bring your chin parallel to the floor. Exhale, just drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Then you're going to feel some sensation in this left side of your neck. You're going to feel it in the shoulder, maybe even the shoulder blade a little bit. Lots of places where this sensation could be going. And of course, it could be a little different today than it usually is. So things are always changing, always a little different. It's kind of fascinating to become aware of that. Okay, let's inhale back to center. And exhale, we drop left ear towards the left shoulder. How is this side different for you? Great work, everyone. Inhale up to center. Exhale, chin towards chest again. And then inhale, chin lifts. Exhale, right ear, right shoulder. Good. Inhale up to center. Exhale, drop your chin down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Good. Inhale up. Let's do one more full cycle like that. I'm not going to cue you. You can just follow along if you need to. And just moving with the breath. So when you've completed that left side, go ahead and drop your chin towards your chest and just hang out there. And then this time, keeping the chin tucked, start to bring your right ear towards your right shoulder and move really, really slow. So no rush, just keep breathing. Take as many breaths as you need to. You're going to notice the different places that you start to feel this sensation on that left side. The right shoulder in particular, I can feel mine creeping up. So just check in with yours as well. It's funny how that happens and we're not even aware that it's happening. Send your exhale to the left side of your neck. Just visualize it creating some space and ease, kind of combing out any tangles that might be there. And there usually are some. So neck, shoulders get really tight. The neck especially. It's these tiny little muscles relative to what they're holding up. So they work hard. Keep your chin tucked. Just take a few breaths to come back to center. And then put your brain in the back of your neck when you get there. Are you starting to feel a little more length in those muscles in the back of the neck? And then we start to make that journey to the left side. So again, there's no rush. This side might feel different. You're going to start to get sensation in the right side of the neck, the shoulders. And try to keep that left shoulder soft, just releasing down. Send that exhale to the scalene muscles. So those muscles on the side of the neck on the right side right now. Observe if there's any tension in your face and jaw here. So especially if this is intense, there might be. Release there. Good. And then again, just take a few breaths to come back to center. So chin gently tucking, couple more breaths. Good. As you inhale, lift your chin, and then let's give the shoulders a roll out. And maybe they're feeling a little more open. And roll forward. And then back again. So the back feeling is always nice because it helps us to sort of set those shoulder blades on the back body, squeeze in towards each other. And then it helps us to find this openness, this gentle lift of the sternum up towards the ceiling. So this cobra pose feeling in the upper body. And then just take a few breaths here like this in your mountain pose. Adjust your feet if you need to. Find those sit bones, so really anchoring down there. And then let's just take our right arm in front and use the strength of your left hand. And you can be holding at the wrist, the forearm, you might be holding a little higher. Some of us like to hook the elbow. So lots of different places you can be. It just kind of depends on your own anatomy, how long the limbs are, how tight things are feeling. Find the place that feels good to you. You're going to feel this nice stretch, the outside of the arm, the tricep area. Again, you might even be feeling a little sensation, the back of this right shoulder. So let's take a couple more breaths here. If you, again, would like to drop that left ear towards your left shoulder, just to intensify things a little more here, you can do that. As you do that, notice if you start to creep that right shoulder up towards the ceiling, soften it down. Breath smooth and steady. That inhale through your nose, that exhale through your nose. All right. So if your left ear is towards your left shoulder, as you inhale, just draw that arm up. And then let's take the arms out wide. Good. Inhale, reach the arms up. So spin your right palm to face behind you. So you're getting internal rotation. Bend that elbow. And then just take your left hand on top. So kind of just stretching into another place. And of course, you all know this. You've been practicing with me for a really long time. If any pose doesn't feel good, it's not working, you just skip it, you modify it as you need to. Let's take a nice deep inhale here. We're going to find a little side bend in this configuration. So as you exhale, lean to the left. You might not be able to go very far. It's going to feel a little deeper, or a little different rather, than the side stretching that we've already done. Good. Inhale up to center. Let's exhale, just release the arms by your side. Take a couple of breaths there. You kind of might feel sensation coming back to the arms. All right. And then we take that left arm in front. So side to side, things can feel very different. And that can happen for a number of reasons. Sometimes we've had injuries that kind of prevent us from doing things equally side to side. We slept wrong. Any number of things could happen. So you're not forcing anything. This is the harder side. You're especially not trying to make it look like the other side if it's just not happening. Instead, you're being really kind to yourself, to your body. You're being okay with where you're at. And then you're breathing smooth and steady. That inhale through your nose, that exhale through your nose. Feel that left shoulder blade releasing down. All right, so again, we're going to inhale, take the arms out wide. Take an exhale here. And then inhale, stretch the arms up overhead. So you're going to spin that left palm to face behind you and then bend the elbow. And then just gently apply a little pressure with that right arm. And you can, it's like your gas pedal. You can do a little more, you can do a little less. Inhale, find that length through the sides of your waist. Find that length between the discs in your vertebra. Exhale, you hold on to all of that length you've created, but you feel a sense of groundedness. The breath helps to move us in two directions. Good. And then let's inhale, reach up and exhale. Beautiful. Release down. Hands can come to your thighs. Just take a moment here. Maybe feel a little tension. Just melt out of the upper body. All right. So let's go ahead and come into our Garudasana legs, our eagle pose legs. So we're going to take our right thigh over our left thigh. So you might want to walk that left foot towards the center. Lost camera here. All right. All right. So feeling nice and stable here. You're pressing into both sit bones. These hip bones are still facing forward. All right, and I'm trying to think how I want to do this. So we're going to do the arms again. If you do have a strap, you might want to grab that. It's not necessary, but we're going to get into the shoulders a little bit too. So we're going to do our eagle pose legs to start with our Gomukhasana, our cow face arms. So let's go ahead and inhale, stretch this right arm up. And then again, find that internal rotation. So the palm spins to face behind you. The thumb is pointing towards the left, then the elbow. Good. So this is where you might have, I should have set it up, the strap over your left shoulder. So you can do this variation again, just gently pressing, especially if the shoulders are a little tighter, that's going to feel better. Otherwise, you might take that right arm out to the side, do the thumbs down sign, so you're getting external rotation in this arm. And then you're going to bend that elbow and crawl that hand up your back. And if you don't have a strap and you want to play with this variation, it doesn't matter if your fingers touch. So I'm going to just turn around really quick. It's going to look like the opposite of what you're doing. Let me just keep my hands where they are. So, you could be here. If you do have your strap, it might look something like this. And again, you might just be here. All right. So, again, a nice little shoulder stretch happening. I want you to really think about lifting that left elbow up towards the ceiling as you press your right shoulder head back. And then as you're doing that, can you put your brain back down into your sit bones, into your outer thighs and hips? Can you just visualize them squeezing in towards the midline? All right, so deep inhale here. As you exhale, you're going to start to twist to the right. And then you're going to just take your left hand to the outside of that right thigh. And then you can release your right hand back behind you. So grab a piece of chair. If it feels good to stay in that half wrap situation, you could do that. You might even kind of reach those fingertips around to the inside of your left thigh, or move in that direction. So again, just another great way to get into the shoulders. Really see what's in front of you. Keeping that gaze soft and steady. Right now, I am seeing the cold, cold world outside, but we've almost made it through February. Spring is on the horizon. All right, so if you're liking how this feels, you stay here. If you'd like to play with leaning forward and then hooking your left elbow to the outside of that right thigh so you get a little leverage, you're welcome to do that. Can you keep your heart and chest this open, but perhaps press your right palm into your left palm? Nice, beautiful. This is almost like a little twisting chair pose, except for that we have this variation with our legs. Notice what's going on with your breath. It's a little challenging to fill up on the inhale when we're in these deep twists. Good. As you exhale, let's unwind and then just hang forward here. If you have blocks, this might be nice. You kind of just little crouching eagle pose here. It can get into some interesting places. You might be feeling it in the hip flexors, so the front of the leg, the groin area. You might be feeling it in your back, your spine quite a bit, the neck. Feel free to let your chin just release towards that knee, towards your chest. Good. As you inhale, let's start to roll on up and let's take the arms out and up as well. And then let's just come into the full expression of this pose. Take your arms out wide. Good. Give yourself that hug. We're going to take the right arm underneath. So elbows stack and hold on to the outer edges of your shoulders. Elbows lift. Stay here like this if you would like. If you enjoy either the backs of the hands pressing version or wrapping around, kind of pretzeling those arms and pressing palms, you're welcome to do that. Wherever you're at, we're working the same things, we're moving the same direction. So wide across the backs of your shoulders, elbows lift. And let's just do a few rounds of cat-cow here. So as you inhale, rock forward on your sit bones. You get that arch in your lumbar, your lower back. As you exhale, elbows towards belly, chin towards chest, round in. Good. Inhaling, arching. Exhale, round in. One more. Inhale, lift. Good. Exhale, round in. Good. And then inhale, take the arms out and up. Reach up. As you exhale, release the arms down. Really nice. And then we're going to take that sequence to the second side. So go ahead and uncross this right thigh. And then we're going to take left thigh over right. So you might need to scoot that right leg over a little bit. This side might feel a little different. And if for whatever reason crossing the legs doesn't work, you can just simply be seated in your chair with Tadasana legs. So always lots of options here. Good. So we're thinking rooting into the sit bones. Both hip bones are facing forward. Outer hips are squeezing in. All right, and then we're going to come into our cow face arms again. So if you did have your strap, let's go ahead and get that set up right this time. So it's going to go over your right shoulder. All right, so let's inhale, stretch the arms up. Good. So find that internal rotation in that right arm, bend the elbow. And then again, maybe just take left hand on top of the elbow if that feels right for you. If you wanted to play with going a little deeper, take that left arm out wide. Thumbs down, you're finding external rotation. And then bend that elbow. So walk that hand up your back any amount, maybe holding onto your strap, maybe fingers clasped. If you don't have a strap, just both hands resting on your spine somewhere. So the arm's doing two different things. Top arm is internally rotated. We're stretching that elbow up towards the ceiling. Bottom arm, external rotation at the shoulder. So we're pressing that shoulder head back. We're really getting into that area. I got a couple more breaths here. Maybe bring your brain to your legs again. So really feel them working. Deep inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, we find that side bend to the left. So it's harder in my body. I'm noticing that it's harder to find that space on the left side. Oops, losing the earbuds. I'm determined one day to figure out what the workaround with my mic is. In the meantime, it's the earbuds that like to fall out. Anyway, I digress. You might be noticing I feel a little constricted on this left side with the arms like this. Notice if that's true for you. Conversely, though, you might feel like you have a little more space on the right side. All right, we're going to inhale up to center. And then exhale. You're just going to twist to the left. And then go ahead and release that right hand down to that left thigh. So you're getting a little leverage to help press that shoulder back. Again, you could kind of do a half wrap with this left arm. We're almost there. You might need to just adjust a little bit, or you simply hold on to a piece of chair behind you, something behind you. You're wrapping those right ribs to the left. You're feeling those shoulder blades squeeze in towards each other and then release down towards your sit bones. And then you're seeing what's in front of you. You're keeping your gaze soft and gentle. Beautiful. And again, the option to stay here like this, maybe you start to hinge forward and you take that elbow to that left thigh. Nice. And then perhaps you press left palm into right palm, almost finding an isometric stretch. So it's like they're pressing in and out at the same time. That might help you to wrap in just the tiniest bit more. These look fantastic. You might be just gazing slightly up. Fine. Lots of expansion on your inhale, even though that's challenging here in this deep twist. Everything is really constricted. I've got a couple more breaths here before we unwind and find that forward fold with our eagle legs. As you exhale, go ahead and release in any amount. It might not be far at all. Once again, paying attention how things feel differently as we take a forward fold, particularly with the legs in this shape. Where do you get sensation in your body? Just notice. All right, so on your next inhale, you're going to start to rise up. So you might take your arms out wide, or you can just kind of roll up. So find your nice tall feet. Good. As you exhale, take the arms out wide, so palms facing forward, and we give ourselves that hug, left arm underneath. So holding onto the outer edges of your shoulders, elbows gently lift, shoulder blades squeeze in towards each other and release towards your sit bones. Stay here like this. Again, if you like any of the other little variations, the same thing is happening in the arms, just looks a little different. And we take a few rounds of our cat-cow here. So inhale, lift the elbows higher, find that arch in your lumbar, rocking to the front of the sit bones. As you exhale, you move in. Inhaling, arching. Exhaling, rounding in. Inhale, lift. Good. Exhale, round in. And then inhale, release the arms, stretch out. Beautiful. As you exhale, hands come to heart center. And then you can just release your arms by your side. Uncross that left thigh. And then find your mountain pose again. So just make any little adjustments. Before we move into some breath work, let's just do 4 or 5 rounds of our Ardha Surya Namaskara. So sort of putting that towards the end of class. We've done a lot of shoulder work, upper body work. So these should feel nice and open, and it'll just kind of be a way to ease some of that. So from our mountain pose, our Tadasana, let's just release our arms by our sides. And again, you have options here. So you can inhale, stretch out and up, or you can reach forward and up. And right away, we're just going to fold in. So you can take the arms out wide, or you can bring them down. So just find your forward fold. Hands might come to blocks here, or fingertips rest on the earth. You're letting your chin drop towards your chest. As you inhale, extend forward. Hands on blocks is great. They might also be on your shins or your thighs. This is a cobra pose, basically. Yeah, as you exhale, you fold back in. And then inhale, either rolling on up or taking your arms out nice and wide in that reverse swan dive. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Good. Inhale, reach. Exhale, we fold in. Just enjoying how good this feels. Inhale, lengthen forward. We're creating a little heat inside our bodies with these sun salutes. Always nice on a cold day. Exhaling, you're folding in. And then you make your way up to your extended mountain pose, or Tita Hastasana into Dasana. And exhale, hands to heart center. So we have 3 more of these. I'm not going to cue you. You're going to move with your breath. If you're not feeling these today, you might just come into a simple cat-cow. You could also just sit quietly. So as you're ready, you move into a few more rounds of these sun salutes if that feels good for you. And just know that you really can't screw these up. If you add something, if you subtract something, the world's going to keep turning. Soak up that sound of your breath. When you're done with your 3rd round, just pause with your palms together at your heart, eyes closed. There's no rush getting there. Pay attention to how you're feeling. I'm feeling a little heat. My heart's beating a little faster. I feel a little energized. What's going on for you? Let's just keep our eyes closed here, but you can release your hands down to your thighs. So you're coming into this nice, tall, seated mountain pose. And we're going to do a little breath work here today. So we're going to do a little asymmetric breathing. And we'll actually start this out We'll do our box breath. So as you'll recall, we're going to inhale to the count of 5. We'll hold for 5. Exhale to the count of 5, and then we'll hold the breath out to the count of 5. But then we're going to mix that up. So after we do a few rounds of just that really symmetrical breath, we're going to go ahead and inhale to the count of 6. We'll hold at the top to the count of 3, and then we're going to exhale to the count of 8. So you're going to kind of have to thin that breath out, stretch it out a little bit. And I find this to be really challenging to do some days. Some days it's super easy. I did it this morning and it was not. So that might be where you're at. At any point you feel like you need to breathe, especially when we get into that asymmetric breathing, please do. If you need to kind of speed up the count a little bit, feel free to do that. But we're going to go ahead and give this a little whirl here. So let's all take a nice deep inhale together through the nose. Full complete exhale through the nose. Inhaling 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time like that. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause. 2, 3, 4. A little different. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's return to our box breath. So inhale to whatever count feels good to you. And then I want you to hold for that count. Exhale for that count, and then hold for that count. And let's do just 3 complete cycles of our even, steady box breath. And you find that pace that feels best for you. And when you're complete, you're going to find a final quiet resting pose, so some form of Shavasana. That might look like classic Shavasana, laying down on the floor. You might stay exactly where you're at. You could take a forward fold. That's particularly nice if you have a table or a chair in front of you, so you can kind of find a supported child's pose. The important thing here is to just tap into this idea of resting. So we've worked, and we want to give our bodies, our brains, an opportunity to assimilate all of this work. We want this bookend at the end of class as we transition into the rest of the day. So wherever you're at, give yourself permission to be still, to be completely relaxed. Allow your breath to find its own rhythm. Let your bones get heavy. Let your muscles slide off the bones. Shavasana. Asato ma satgamaya. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. Mrityamritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Next inhale a little deeper. Inside and breath out. You can just bring a little gentle movement back to your body. So wiggle, stretch, anything that feels good here. And you'll just eventually land with your palms pile on top of your heart. Final check-in. How do you feel differently than when we started? Is there more space? Is there a greater sense of ease in your body? Is the brain a little quieter, a little calmer, a little more focused? Maybe none of that is true for you. That's also okay. Some days that's how it goes. But usually we always feel at least slightly better. Send yourself love and gratitude for showing up, for making the effort. Let's send each other love and gratitude. And let's just promise ourselves that we're going to carry this good feeling with us into the rest of the day, the rest of the week ahead. Just gently bow your head with a smile. Beautiful work today, everybody. Thank you. Namaste.